السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما نراك اتبعك إلا الذين هم أراذلنا بادئ الرأي. وقال تعالى: قالوا أنؤمن لك واتبعك الأرذلون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Very quickly, we're talking about the objections that the people of Nuh السلام had against Nuh السلام. And one of the first objections we mentioned was that they said, you are not anything but a man like us. And we mentioned some different points we take out from that. The response of Nuh salam, I didn't mention it yesterday, but Nuh salam said in very simple words, عليه كنت على بينة من ربي. What do you think? Fine, you think I'm a man. I'm not denying it. I'm not saying I'm some super being. I'm special. I'm different. I'm saying, he said, well, what do you think if this is the case? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me hidayah, or I'm on clear proof from my Rabb, and it is obscure to you. Meaning, I have knowledge of something, you may not have knowledge of something, and it's possible that the knowledge I am telling you, the goodness I am telling you, I'm preaching to you, will save you from an everlasting punishment. This is similar to a person who comes to us and says, I don't believe in a God. Now, we're not sitting here saying this is proof, but it's a concept. I don't believe in a God. Prove to me there's a God, etc., etc., etc. However, so there's obviously ways to understand a person's argument, there's nuanced responses, and there's that. But there's also this concept. Let's say there's the possibility of both. There's either a God, and He set rules for us. And these rules tell us to be good, do good things, give charity, fast, pray. Or there is no God, and you're going to die, and you're going to turn into dust. If I'm right, then what? If I'm right, meaning there is a God, then what? What do you do then? You're going to lose out. If I'm wrong, then what? Nothing. I turn into dust. It doesn't matter. So Nuh alayhi salam is saying, sure, I'm a man like you, but what if there is a God, and it's not like they rejected God. They were not atheists. They were idol worshippers. They were not atheists. They believed in Allah, they just used these idols as a way to get to Allah. Now, he's simply saying, what if I'm right? And then what are you going to do? So that was one way Nuh alayhi salam responded to the objection. The second objection they bring is that it's unfortunate, but this is still something people say today. That their objection was to Nuh alayhi salam. The reason we don't want to follow you, or we don't think that you are a truthful messenger, is because the only people that follow you are aradiluna. The ones of the low caste, the low people of society. They're not well off. They're just the regular people. Maybe they clean garbage. Maybe they do this and they do that. They're not the rich or the elite. So that was their reasoning for why Nuh alayhi salam was not a prophet of Allah. The second statement they make is Aradiyuna Badi al-Ra'i. What does Badi al-Ra'i mean? Those that don't have a lot of intellect. They don't, they're not that smart. Meaning, they're following you, but it's not after thought. It's not after thought. It's just, they're just following you. They don't really know why. They don't really have a reason. They're not intelligent enough to think on their own, so they're just following you. Do we not find something similar today? How many times, and I can say this because I experienced it. How many times do I encounter people who maybe wear suits and dress pants? They dress like they think they're someone, like they're lawyers for some reason. And they come to people like me, and I can say this from experience. We wear our imamas, we wear our white robes, or I'm not wearing it today. We wear our pants above our ankles. We look like simple people. And they say, this mullah doesn't do nothing. This mullah, he doesn't know nothing. Keeps a beard, has a topi on, has a hat on, he doesn't know nothing. He doesn't have understanding of this world. They just sit in their masjid, they do dhikr. If they had any understanding, then they would change the rules of Sharia to conform with society. Maybe none of you have experienced this, but I'm telling you from experience. And their response is, they're not intelligent people. They don't know anything. They just sit in the masjid, they pray their salah, they read from the same books everybody reads from, they don't know anything. This is exactly what they used to say to those people who followed Muhammad. And here's a unique thing. Two things. Number one, I said this yesterday, it is oftentimes those with less means who follow Haqq first. It is oftentimes those with less means who follow Haqq first. And this happened in our Islam that we have today too. Abu Sufyan, who had not accepted Islam at this time, he went to meet Herakl, who was a king of the Christians. The story is long, but Herakl, being a Christian, he heard about a messenger who has come in the Arabian Peninsula. His name is Muhammad. He heard about him. So the story is that Abu Sufyan, radiallahu anh, but at the time he wasn't a companion, he came with a group of people. And so the way Herakl had it set up was that he had Abu Sufyan stand in front and all of his people stand behind him. He would question Abu Sufyan and then he would look at those behind him to see if he's telling the truth. The story is long, but what's one relevant statement? Herakl asked him, who followed this messenger? Who followed him? What type of people? Now, Abu Sufyan, he thinks he's smart. He thinks, this is a good question. He says, the low caste people, the ones who are nobodies. So Herakl just listens, and he listens, and he asks him more questions. And at the end, Herakl tells him one thing. It is the case, it is the sunnah, I'm not saying sunnah, but it is the habit, that it is the low, or the people who are considered low caste because of monetary status, right? That's how we decide, right? Who's middle class, who's low class, who's high class, how rich you are, what you drive, where you live, which is such a incorrect way of deciding how somebody's relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. It's actually not a way at all. Allah ta'ala and the Prophet ﷺ teach us. Allah ta'ala doesn't look at your face, your appearance, and your money. He looks at your heart. And then he looks at your deeds. And then that's how your relationship with him is established. And so Abu Sufyan thought that, I told him this. Herakl said it is the method, the way that usually it is that he is a true messenger when these are the people following him. When these are the people following him, then he is a true messenger. So the last thing that ended up happening was these people, they eventually said, fine, we'll hear you out. We'll hear you out. But there's one condition. These people that sit with you, these nobodies that we like to think of, we won't sit with them. We won't sit with them. If you want to teach us, we won't sit with them. It's also the same thing that people said to the Prophet ﷺ. We won't sit with these people. So Nuh alayhi salam said, وَمَا أَنَا بِطَارِدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I won't leave them. Their deeds are with Allah. Their connection is with Allah. Ask yourself this question. Would we say to ourselves, these are the elite. If I get one of them to accept Islam, it's possible they'll bring their friends to Islam. So why not just give in? And say, yeah, that's okay, we'll have a gathering with just the elite, and I won't let any of these other people be here. And even a thought crossed the Prophet ﷺ's mind about this. And Allah immediately told the Prophet ﷺ, never. Never. You will never push away those who are righteous and think you can help Islam. It will never happen. It is through these people that we may look at and think nothing of them because they don't drive nice cars. They're not really well off. They're simple people, and you think nothing of them, but it is those people that protect us. It is the rahmah that descends on them that spreads everywhere. So Nuh alayhi salam told them, وَمَا أَنَا بِطَارِدِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I won't push them away. So I want to bring up a hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, in one occasion, he was sitting with the Sahaba, and a man passed by. And the Prophet ﷺ asked those who were sitting with him, what do you think of this man? And they said, هُوَ مِنْ فُقَرَاءِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. He's from the not well-to-do, the poor of the Muslims. Wallahi, hariyun. He is such a man that they swear by Allah that if he were to propose for marriage, his proposal would not be accepted. He's such a man that if he were to intercede, his intercession would not be accepted. And we know who these people are, They're the simple people, nobody really knows them. You're not going to go to them, hey, look, can you speak to this person on my behalf? You're going to go to somebody who's known in the community. He's the man that when he walks in, everybody looks at him, Assalamu alaikum, mashallah. We know him, only by name, but we know him. You're going to go to him to intercede. So another man passes by. And the Prophet ﷺ said, what do you think of this man? And they said, Ashraf al-Nas. He's a good man. He's considered from the elite. Wallahi, if he were to propose for marriage, everyone would accept his proposal. That is how sa'a he is. And if he were to intercede, his intercession would be accepted. What did our Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say after this? He pointed at that poor man. And he said, one of him is better than an entire world full of them. One of him is better than an entire world full of them. It is these simple people around us that through their barakah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets rahmah descend on this earth. Now, I want to end with this one thing, just to keep something in mind. This is never to say we cannot have nice things. Let's understand this. Inna Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal. Allah is beautiful, He likes beauty. He likes, a companion came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked, can I have shoes with nice laces? And the Prophet says, look, Inna Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal. It's okay to have these things. There's just one thing you have to keep in mind. If by having these things, you look down on others. One thing is, how many of us go around and say, I look down at him and saying, yeah, he's poor people. We do not think like that. So there's another way of thinking too. You think you're better. Why? Because you drive a better car. You have a bigger house. You think you're better. These types of conflicts within your heart, if you're having them, then know this. Allah Ta'ala gives people sometimes as a means to make their life easy because they believe in Allah, they trust in Allah, they worship Allah, they obey Allah. Likewise, Allah gives to people to push them away from Him. To push them away from Him. You know why? Because He wants you to do everything you can in this dunya. Enjoy it all you want. Because when you pass away, when you die, I have so much more against you. So if you want to know whether the wealth you have been given is a good thing for you, just ask this question in your heart. Do I ever, in my heart, have this thought that I am superior to someone else? Or I think down upon him because, you drove in and you drove and you come in with a nice car and you look at him and he's been driving a beat up old car and the thought crosses your mind. I have a better car. Then understand your wealth is a means to push you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us.